What do you do when you live out in the middle of nowhere and internet is a problem? We're going to talk about that today and some of our solutions and how we tried to figure this out. So let's go. Hi adventurers, welcome back. My name's Christy and I'm so glad you're here today. This is not a terribly exciting topic, but it's one I've been wanting to cover for a while. We have just recently in the last couple of months purchased a 20-acre farm out in the middle of nowhere in southern Missouri, and as a result we've had a lot of issues with our connectivity. When we purchased the property, on the information provided for us from the previous owner, it included internet. And so they said that they had used CenturyLink for their internet provider out here. They came out, hooked up our internet. They said we were gonna get 25 megabytes per second. That's what we were supposed to be able to access for our download speed. We realized instantaneously that that was not gonna happen. I think we had maybe 1 or 2 megabytes per second. We contacted CenturyLink thinking maybe there was something wrong with our box, or they did a test on it. They said there was everything that they could do on their end was done, that whatever we had for our internet was what it was going to be. There was nothing faulty with the box. You know, they had a lot of very old lines that they were utilizing out here in the country. And so sometimes the connectivity just wasn't great. So we decided immediately that we were going to switch from CenturyLink to another internet provider because it just wasn't acceptable to have that slow of internet. We couldn't even watch a movie. We did some research locally. We did some research on other rural families who vlog about their solutions, and we decided we were going to go with satellite internet. We went with HughesNet, satellite internet, and boy was it a nightmare. We contacted them, they came out, they set up a satellite dish on our roof, and it didn't work. So we connected to the internet. We're very excited. It worked slightly faster than the CenturyLink, but by a marginal amount. We hooked up to our internet, it connected to my cell phone. I was able to get onto my cell phone. So when the guy came, he said, connect to the satellite and see if you can get onto it. I said, okay. So he gave me the password, I connected to my cell phone, and I was able to get online. He said, all right, you're good to go. Thank you so much. And we said, all right, great. And he left. And so after he left, I ended up hooking our desktop computer up to the satellite Wi-Fi signal, and it was not strong enough again to stream a movie or stream anything on Netflix. And it would open up YouTube and open up a video, but it would just buffer and buffer and buffer and then play for 2 or 3 seconds and then buffer and buffer and buffer and play for 2 or 3 seconds and stop. And so we contacted HughesNet and said, hey, our internet is not working right. Maybe something is wrong with the satellite. We're not sure what's going on. And we were instructed that there were storms in the area, and when the storms happened, the satellite wasn't going to work correctly. And we said, we understand that. So they said, wait until the storm passes, then call us back. So the next day we get on the internet, still same thing, didn't work. We contacted them back. They said to us, oh, we're having difficulties on our end. It's not working right. So we apologize for the inconvenience. Check back in a couple of hours. If it isn't remedied by tomorrow, call us back. So we all have busy schedules, work and life and taking care of kids and all that stuff. And so the internet wasn't working when we moved in. So we sort of just put it on the sideline and said, okay, we'll deal with this when we get a chance to deal with it. We'd already made several calls. We were already on our second internet provider. A couple of days had gone by, still no internet. There was no storms, clear sunny skies, couldn't stream anything. We contact HughesNet back. They said, oh, it's working. We see that you're utilizing data at your house. And I said, No, we're not. It hasn't been working yet. We can't even sign on to Wi-Fi on our desktop. We haven't been utilizing any internet. It's not working. And they said to me, oh yes, you've almost used all of your data package. I said, how have we used almost all of our data package when first off, we've had your service for 1 week, and 2, we haven't even been able to connect to it. We've been trying, but nothing is working. And the person on the phone basically instructed me that we were overusing our data package somehow, even though we couldn't use the internet, and that we would have to wait until the following month's data usage in order to get full speed internet again. That we had somehow exceeded our data limit in 1 week of internet not working, and that we had to wait until the following billing cycle. So we'd have to pay them again, and then our internet speeds would increase. And we informed her, how is that possible? You're not understanding us. We haven't had working internet yet. We've contacted you. We were told first it was because of the storm. Then we were told you were having problems on your end. Then we were told now by you that we've utilized all of our data usage and that's why it's not working. I said, no, that cannot be. And so we requested a service repairman to come out and look at the satellite. She told us on her end it looked like we were receiving a signal. So we thought, okay, maybe something is wrong with our satellite. Perhaps it's just like pulling in data and it's not working, and something weird is happening with the equipment, and so it's eating up the data, yet we're somehow not able to stream. I don't know. I don't work on this equipment. I have no idea how it works. And so we said, okay, well, send us out a technician to look at the equipment, and perhaps there's something wrong with that we're utilizing data, but we're not able to actually access it. And so they, after much back and forth, begrudgingly scheduled us a guy to come out and look at the satellite dish. So finally the guy comes out, goes up on the roof, looks at the equipment. He says, as far as I can tell, your equipment is fine. You've utilized all your data package, and that's why your internet's not working. I said, guy, how is this possible? I feel like no one from your company is listening to me. And he said, oh, I don't work for HughesNet. I'm an independent repair guy. I can only say what's on my piece of equipment here. And it says you've utilized all your data. So your data is only trickling in right now because you're in the lowest possible speed. And so that's why it's not working. I will tell you 100%, HughesNet is a scam. They would not listen to us. We've contacted them numerous times about the internet. And finally, after much frustration, I said, you know what? We don't want the internet anymore. We're gonna cancel it. I'm unplugging the box right now, end my subscription right now, and we're canceling the internet. The person on the phone said, fine. But they continued to take money out of our account every single month to pay the bill because we had automatic withdrawal for our bill. After they took the money out again, we contacted them back and said, hey, we canceled our service. You've charged us again. There must be a mistake. And their response was, oh, you can't cancel your service. You signed a 24-month contract, which we were never told we were signing a 24-month contract by anyone when we signed up. We said, no, we did not sign a 24-month contract. Show me where we signed this 24-month contract. Well, it was a verbal agreement upon signing up for the equipment. They said, no, we did not do that. And we've already canceled the service once and no one said anything to us about a 24-month contract. They said, well, that's our policy. If you want to cancel the service, it's $370 to get out of the contract. I said, I can't have a contract with you if we don't have internet that works. This is how a service agreement works. You provide a service, I pay for it. You have yet to provide your service. I have yet to be able to utilize your internet since you've hooked it up in my house. And yet you keep saying I've passed all of my data. We unplugged that box 4 weeks before this phone conversation I had with this person. And they told me that we had been still somehow overusing our allotted data with the box unplugged in the house. And I said, sir, the box hasn't even been plugged in my house for several weeks. Please tell me how I'm utilizing data when it's not even plugged in. And he said, oh, I'm looking at your account right now and you're still using it. I said, we most certainly are not still using it. So anyway, we are still dealing with HughesNet. So anyone out there looking for satellite internet, I would say to you, most assuredly through my experience, these guys are not easy to work with. Every single person I've spoken to at the company is a foreigner, someone from the Middle East. They don't speak English, they don't understand you, they don't communicate well, and they just talk you into a circle where you can't get anywhere with them. And so I would say most assuredly stay away from them. So what did we do? What did we do for internet? What was our next step? So after the whole HughesNet debacle, what we did next was the only other thing we could think to do. Our cell phones were not working out in the country anyway. Eric and I utilized Cricket Mobile for our cell phone provider, and my parents both had Boost Mobile for their cell phone provider. And neither one of us were getting regular internet out here, or cell coverage rather. It was very spotty. And so we decided we would look into what cell coverage covered this area, and then that's who we would go with for our internet. We found that Verizon was the only cell coverage out here in the country that would work for us. And so we decided that we would switch our cell providers to Verizon. And luckily, Verizon includes on their big packages hotspots. And so we decided what we would do, each phone for all four of us would include 20 gigs of hotspot availability per billing cycle. And so that meant between the four lines, we would have 80 gigs of hotspot to be able to stream movies and things like that. Immediately tried to hook up our hotspots, and we still could not stream the internet from our computer. The hotspot was just not powerful enough. We were not getting a strong enough signal from the local cell tower, which is about 3 miles away from our house, to be able to stream a stinking movie. It felt like this internet issue was gonna haunt us forever, and we were just never going to figure it out. So after we had paid a ridiculous amount of money to Verizon to switch over, we did have a contract with them, so we couldn't get out of it. And so we were like, what are we going to do? And so we did the next thing we could think to do, which was to purchase a cell booster. There was an app associated with this booster that you could download, and it instructed you actually to download the app on your cell phone first, walk around your property, and if that app didn't work, and then the cell booster wasn't gonna work. And so if you could download that app and turn it on and you got the right signal, then you knew the cell booster would actually benefit you and it would boost your signal enough to help you. We purchased it, we hooked it up, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. So we were so frustrated. Eric got on the roof, moved that thing around. We opened up the app, walked all around the house, trying to find the best place the signal came from. We kept getting error codes, and we actually are still getting error codes on the one piece of equipment, that the receiver that goes in the house. And so before we had bought the cell signal, or I'm sorry, before we had bought the cell booster, we had bought a Wi-Fi receiver, a little cheap $20 Wi-Fi receiver from Amazon to put onto our computer, because we weren't hooking it up Wi-Fi through the internet, and it needed the Wi-Fi boost or signal receiver in order to pick up the Wi-Fi hotspot signal from our cell phones. When that didn't work, we just unplugged it. And so I don't know how this worked. I don't know why this worked, but it did work. After tethering our phones directly to the desktop computer to try and boost the signal, even with the signal booster we had purchased from Amazon, it still wasn't a strong enough signal to stream movies from Google Play or from Netflix. However, we determined that it was fast enough and strong enough to go to web pages, like static web pages, or even to watch YouTube videos. We could do that. And so it was the best coverage we had so far, but it still wasn't enough. We couldn't watch any movies or anything. So after doing a bunch of research and trying to figure out what in the world we could do, and being on the verge of returning that cell phone booster, signal booster, Eric had just an idea. He said, hey, unplug the tethering cord from your cell phone and plug in that Wi-Fi receiver and put your phone right on top of the indoor receiver in that and see if it works. I don't know how. I don't know anything about this kind of equipment. I don't know why. But sticking my cell phone right on top of the indoor booster, the signal finder that came in the package of the signal booster. There's 3 pieces in this package. An antenna that goes on the roof. Then there's a receiver that hooks into the back of your computer. And then there's another like signal booster that you hang up somewhere on your ceiling inside. Well, we hadn't hung it on the ceiling because it wasn't working properly, and we didn't want to fix it to a place that wasn't going to work. We were hoping we could find the perfect place to put it. So it's just literally sitting on an end table next to the TV. And I determined the day before that if I walked over to that thing and I stood right in front of it, I got full bars on my cell phone. So I moved it right next to the computer. I stuck my cell phone on top of it. I plugged in the Wi-Fi receiver, and I don't know why it worked, and I don't know how it worked, but for some reason, it worked. Our internet came on, and we could stream movies. But that is how we fixed our internet. We purchased Verizon with the hotspots, the hotspot capability. We bought a cell phone signal booster from Amazon. We bought a Wi-Fi signal receiver for your desktop from Amazon. And those 3 things together gave us enough internet to be able to stream movies from Netflix or Google Play or any website we wanted to. But that's the only way we could figure out how to do it. So I hope that's helpful to some of you out there. It was so frustrating giving up your city life to move out to the country without having any service or internet. You feel like you're going crazy, but keep trying, plugging away. I highly recommend looking into Verizon. Their hotspots did work. We were able to get a signal. You can check it out to see if a signal is available in your area, if you can utilize them for your internet, and it might work for you too. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks for watching today. Bye.